We might have to start. You're good, you're good. Now we're hoping to see a pop.
Sorry?
Alright guys, so I think most of you only got 2 top ports, so go ahead and click on the second one, COM4 probably. COM1 will not work. You fly around and you have to dodge that. Alright, everybody's on COM4, right? No, but you can add code to it. You guys That's my thing, is I leave my video games incomplete, so you guys that would take a lot of work. It's a fun job. But guys, you would have to work for years and years and years. And you would have to learn so much math. If you guys are into video games and you guys want to make your own video games, you're going to have to pay attention in math class, guys. Algebra and calculus are really important for making video games. Sure. Yeah, lots of geometry.
Just so you know, we're recording video. So get in there. GoPros get the whole thing.
I've only ever seen them on hold because people attach them to their boobs, so you can see like perspective or spinning.
People use them a lot for like rapping, comic cams. I'm gonna have to go back there. It's okay. Okay, guys. So how can we figure out which COM port? I mean, we know that it's not the one that's #1, but at home, because every time you plug in a new device, it pops up with a whole new COM port. So at home, you're going to need to be able to figure out, or maybe in the future, you're going to need to be able to figure out which COM port it is. So what I want you guys to do is look at your COM ports, okay? You guys should have 2 different COM ports. Which ones do you guys have? So like
COM4 and COM1.
COM4 and COM1. Does anybody have something different than COM4? Okay, cool. So what we can do is, watch this guys, if we click elsewhere, we just unplug this. Now, we took the device off, right? So it's no longer connected to that communication port, the COM port. So if we go back and look at the COM port, it's not there, right? So we know the number 4, the one that we took away, right, is the one that's attached to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug these back in. Then we're going to go back and we're going to select our serial port, our COM port again. Okay? And which one are we going to select?
COM4.
COM4, because we know it's 4, because 4 went away. All right. So we've got that selected. We've got a question here. Yes, Alyssa.
I don't have a question.
Yeah, okay.
When I pulled mine back up, it went red, yellow, and then the blue light started.
So the red and yellow are the RX and TX. So that means that we plugged it in and information is being passed back and forth from this computer to the other computer. From this little robot brain to the other robot brain. Okay? Watch, I want you guys, that's excellent, Alyssa. I want you guys to watch those RX and TX lights when we hit upload. So I want you to click on upload because we did those two things. We selected the board type and the serial port. So now we can upload. And we can watch, and when those lights flash, it's passing information to the robot brains.
That's cool.
And then you should see it kind of pause for a second. And then it should start blinking that blue light. That's LED 13. Because it's blinking 13. If you have a little red, if you have, see like I got an error down here. So errors are normal. Yeah, we're going to change how fast they shoot. I'm going to use...
Oh, I did.
It should say done uploading, and like you might get an error message down here. We're going to talk about error messages in a little bit. So if you've got an error message, red text, throw up a hand.
He just got a question or a comment.
He's got a question. No. Do you have an error message? Yeah, so that sounds good. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna wait until everybody's done talking.
You're all good.
Do you have an error message? What?
I actually have an error message, but mine was because I had two COM ports and I was just wrong.
Right. So like if you select the wrong COM port, guys, you'll get an error message. Hey guys, so what's your sign for I need your attention? Is it
5, 4, 3, 2.
Why don't we just raise hands? If he raises his hand, you'll be
Yeah, if I raise my hand, guys, I want your attention, okay? Great. Okay, guys, so look at this. It says done uploading, because we uploaded our code. And it tells us, you're asking about the memory, it tells us how much memory we took up out of how much is our maximum. So this is 32K of memory, and we're only using 1K, guys, so we could upload a whole bunch more code, okay? Let's start talking about our code. So we've got our code right here, and actually, we're not going to talk about the code because I want you guys having fun, first of all, okay? So what we're going to do, my code might look a little bit different than yours, or it might look exactly the same. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start changing variables. So you guys can always change variables. And you guys know what variables are, right?
Yes.
Nice. So variables, I'm just going to go over it really quick. Variables are containers for information, right? So just like we have different containers for physical stuff in the world, right? This is a good container for what?
Water.
Coffee, water, juice, right? What about this? What is this a good container for?
Your head.
My head, right? What happens if I try to put this stuff into this container?
It'll leak.
It'll leak, yeah. So this is a bad container for liquids, right? So just like we have different physical containers for that, we have different variable types for information because there's different kinds of information. So we're gonna change an integer type variable because it can hold integers, numbers, right? But we could also have character type variables, okay? And so our character type variables can hold like exclamation points or like A or B or anything like that. But we're going to change an integer type variable. So I want you guys to go down and find delay. It's inside of loop. We're going to talk about all this stuff in a little bit. You guys are doing some hardcore programming today. It's pretty awesome. I want you guys to change these two numbers, this 1,000, because this is milliseconds, okay? These robots think so quick that we can tell them to wait for 1/1000th of a second. This guy can execute 16 million different operations per second. How do you guys think, if you guys could do that, how long do you think your homework would take? All right? Yeah. You have a question? Yeah. Yeah, I want you guys to change the numbers inside of delay. See how low you can go and still see that LED blink. And I want you guys to tell me, because these two numbers do two different things. I want you to find out what the two different things that they do are. And tell me. Even though it's the same command, where they are in the code matters, just like in Scratch, okay? So you guys can make these longer, you guys can make these bigger numbers, or smaller numbers. But I want you guys figuring out what they do, okay?
When you change it, be sure to click upload. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
So after you change this, I want you guys clicking upload. Upload is how you put the code back onto your robot brain.
You don't want crazy numbers. Not 2 billion.
Yeah. Well, you can try that. You'll probably get an error message. You can learn something from that too.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so if it's too long, try changing it.
So what that did, it's just saying.
Hey guys, I've got prizes. I've got prizes for anybody who can tell me what the two different numbers do, what the difference between them are. Yeah.
The difference are like how fast or how slow.
Okay, yeah. So do you want stickers, a patch, safety glasses, or sunglasses? Sunglasses? Okay. There you go. Who can tell me what the difference between the two numbers is? Yeah. Because they do two different things. Play around with it if you're not sure.
My thing is not. One turns orange, the other turns like brown. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's a digital light. It's high.
Uh-huh.
The second one, I can't know. It's a digital light.
Okay. So what are those two numbers when you change those two numbers? If we make like the first one a big number and the second one is a small number, what are those numbers doing?
What?
That's how I handle that. Yeah. Because what about your numbers? Okay, so yeah, guys, so what was your name? Kayla? So Kaylin's saying that the number on top, she made the number on top larger. So it's being on for a longer amount of time. And she made the number on the bottom smaller, and it's doing what for a shorter amount of time? It's turning off for a shorter amount of time. Awesome. Yeah, so one of them is for how long it's going to be on, and one of them is for how long it's going to be off. What do you want for a prize? Do you want safety glasses, a patch, stickers, or sunglasses? Sunglasses. I got a feeling the sunglasses are the top. Uh-huh.
And mine's when it turns on, I'm waiting 7 seconds and then it turns off.
7 seconds, yeah. So 7,000 is 7 seconds. You got a question on something?
No. I changed mine to 1,000 and 4, and mine's like 7,000.
So she changed hers to 1,004. So 4 is so small you can't see it. Yeah.
And also, the first number, if you change it to 95x, it would wait 9 seconds and then
9 seconds, totally. I agree. So that's so like 9,000 is 1 second. So guys, what's the smallest we can make both of those numbers? If we make both of those numbers the same number, what's the smallest we can make those numbers and still see it blink? I want you guys to figure that out, not guess. You good? Oh, not 5 in the back there. I want you guys to change it. Change it. You can figure it out. You can figure it out. What's the smallest you can make this number?
Oh, I figured it out.
Because 5, you won't be able to see it blink at all. I guarantee it. You have the answer?
-1 trillion.
1? Oh, you guys are guessing. I want you guys uploading the code.
I can't.
You can see a blink when they're both at 9? Let's see. No, we want to change them both to the same number. There, guys, change both of them to the same number.
Get up to 4.